Before installing Microlocks on thin hair, please watch this video. I have learned all this from working on different clients' hair with different hair types and conditions. If you have thin, low density hair, Microlocks can make your hair full and beautiful, but only when the installation is done the right way. If installation is done wrong, it can cause hair loss and worsen the thinning of your hair. Hello and welcome. My name is Fongugi. I am a natural hair educator and I am also a loctician. And here in this channel, we teach everything microlocks, everything natural hair. We teach the right routines to do on our hair and in our scalp. We teach how we can heal our scalp through experience, because I've been dealing with a lot of clients and I have been advising them. So everything I teach here is from experience. And I also help women and men regrow their hair through following the right natural routines. And speaking of regrowing hair, I have a free guide link in the description where I talk everything regrowing your hair. I am giving you very natural, cheap remedies, okay, that you can apply to regrow your hair. Those who don't know my hair history, I lost hair in the crown part, and now my hair has regrown. They are short, right? They are short, but they have regrown very healthy. So that guide will guide you on what to do. And in fact, the ingredients are right in your kitchen. So go down there in the description, click on that link and get that free guide, and let us regrow our hair back. The first thing that people fear is the scalpy face. Okay, when you install Microlocks and you have thin hair, what happens? Your scalp gets scalpy. What does that mean? It means that people will always see your scalp after installing Microlocks. And the thing that people do not talk about is this thing is temporary. Okay, this experience is temporary, because when your lock starts, forming and maturing and banding, your locks get fuller, and so your scalp is not seen anymore. And that takes around, okay, depends on the type of your hair, but it takes around 6 months going to 1 year. Okay, so that's a temporary phase and you'll overcome that. Now, how do I deal with it as a loctician? I normally apply prickly and the diagonal pattern. Okay, so I don't do the parting as in lines form. Okay, so I leave a space and then I apply. I do install another lock in between, and that helps in covering the scalp issue, and your hair appears full, your microlocks appears full even before they mature. The second point that you're supposed to consider if you have thin hair is that the back of your hair is fragile. Okay, i'm talking about the nape part. Okay, the back of your hair, this part is always fragile. Now, when you do the installation, or when a loctician does the installation, if he or she does very tiny locks at the back of your head, okay, those locks tend to break and fall, okay, because they are tiny and the hair is very thin and very fragile. So how do I deal with that? I normally do bigger sizes in the back. Okay, around 3 lines in the back, I normally add the size. Okay, they get a bit larger so that that lock can have the right foundation. Okay, the lock cannot fall even if your hair is fragile, because it has a lot of strands of hair to hold it. The third point to consider is braiding your hair versus twisting your hair. Okay, when doing the installation. Now, when going to a loctician, let that loctician analyze your hair and determine which style of installation they are going to do on your hair. Because now thin hair, the braiding tends to be best for thin hair, because it holds the hair and the unraveling do not happen. Okay, so doing the braiding in the root area, okay, when starting, it helps because the hair cannot unravel, the hair cannot, the locks is protected. Now doing the twisting looks, cute, and the hair looks full, but it unravels with time. After a number of shampooing or the first shampooing, the hair tends to unravel. So consider the style of installation, okay, the right style of installation on your hair. Now, for me, I advise my clients to do the braiding, because that is easy. Because even when you're washing, you are very sure that your hair will not unravel. Okay, so if your hair is thin, consider doing the braiding method of installation. The fourth point of consideration is over retightening. The fourth point of consideration is over retightening. Now, this is a very big mistake that people make, because when you over retighten thin hair, people think that when you over retighten, that lock gets stronger. Okay, that is a very big mistake, because when you over retighten, what you do is your hair weakens. Okay, because the strands are fragile. Now, when you over retighten and the hair gets very tight, okay, it will eventually pull the hair out and the fragile strands will break. Okay, so I highly advise that you skip retightening schedule between 8 weeks and 10 weeks, right? 8 to 10 weeks in between, so that your hair can, be nourished, can get stronger before retightening again. Now, the other thing, if you're doing interlocking, do the 2 or 3 point rotation. Don't do the 4, because that will tighten the locks. Me, I prefer the 2 point rotation, because it will not stress your locks. Point number 4, edges and short hair. Okay, now people are very worried during installation time because of their hairline. And most of our hairlines are very fragile, and we have short hair around our hairline. Now, that one is not a thing to scare you, because installation can be done. The only thing you need to talk to your loctician about is tell them to consider doing some bigger locks. Okay, when partitioning, let them do bigger locks on the front part where your hair is fragile and short, because when you do larger locks, you'll have a lot of strands to hold that lock, so the hair cannot break. Doing larger locks is very much safe for your edges and your short locks. Point number 6, the weight illusion. Okay, now people think that when you do the tiny locks, that you will not have weight on your locks, but that is not the case. When you do tiny locks, okay, now your head is full, you have some hundreds of tiny locks. Those tiny locks will have weight eventually, because when they form, they band, they get some weight. The weight will pull your roots, and that will interfere with your hair growth. So it is advised to keep it minimal. Okay, don't do it too small and don't do it too large. Okay, do the middle size. That is what I do on my clients, because that helps with keeping their locks intact, and their locks do not fall. Point number 7, maintenance secrets. Okay, and the first thing I advise is do the shampooing with intervals. Don't do the shampooing every week, especially when your hair, your locks are new. Okay, they've just been installed. Take some time. Take 3 to 4 weeks before washing. and use the right products, okay? Use the right shampoos. Do not use the harsh shampoos. Do not use conditioners, because conditioners will definitely unravel your locks. The unraveling will give you another, another work of going back to the loctician and doing the undone locks. So do not use conditioners. Use the right shampoos and wash in 3 to 4 weeks intervals. Now, the other thing you must consider is doing the braid and banding before shampooing. What does that do to our hair? It keeps our locks intact, okay? So unraveling will not happen when you do the braiding and banding before shampooing. Always do that. And when doing the braiding and banding, you do it loosely. Do not tighten, okay? Do everything with gentle and care so that this journey can get easy and you can enjoy the journey. I have seen Microlocks transform my hair and my clients' hair. And I advise people to get Microlocks. And please do research. Watch videos like this before installation. Because if you're not informed, you will learn it the hard way. And that is the purpose of this video. I want you to learn so that you can start the right way in the beginning without going through very many struggles. Now, what is your biggest fear before Microlocks installation? What do you feel like you fear the most? Talk to me in the comment section. Let me know everything, the fears that you have, the questions that you have. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to this channel, because here we talk real struggles and real journey, real experiences. We don't focus on perfection. We talk everything real so that people can learn and the journey can get easier. Now, I have a guide to heal your scalp, okay? If you have itchy scalp, if you have, okay, sensitive scalp, I have a guide. You'll get the guide in the pinned comment. Go have it so that you can heal your scalp and so that we can grow our hair back healthy and naturally and beautiful. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for loving this channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't, please do so. Share this video with the people who are dealing with thin hair, and I'll see you in my next video.